If you suffer from tight hamstrings, locked up hips, and a painful lower back, there's a very good chance I can help you. I've developed a 15-minute science of stretching routine that can help free up your body pragmatically over the next 4 weeks. And it doesn't matter how stiff you are now or how far gone you think you've gone, the science of stretching can really help you find more space in your hamstrings, more freedom in your hips, improve your posture, relieve that tension in your shoulders, release that trigger point pain in your traps, and just generally give you measurable results in about 4 weeks. And the best part is, it just takes about 15 minutes per day. This program is not designed for contortionists or dancers or advanced yoga students. It's designed for regular people who'd like to regain the lost mobility of their youth. My name is Lucas Rockwood. I'm now a yoga teacher and a teacher trainer, but I used to be a stiff office guy and I couldn't even touch my toes. When I sat on the ground like this, my knees would be way up off the ground, my back would be hunched over, and I used to just sweat. It was so uncomfortable. And something like back bends, forget about it. It was completely out of the question. Like a lot of stiff people, probably like you, I started going to yoga classes, traditional yoga classes, and I just loved it. I loved everything, the energy, the challenge, the poses, but I was terrible. So bad, I knew it would take me about 20 years just to learn how to squat down. So I knew I needed to do some homework, but I couldn't figure out what to do. Most of my yoga teachers were some of those naturally flexible people. They didn't even know what it meant. They've been flexible their whole life. So I started talking to people like me who were stiff as adults and who actually made changes. Some of them were yoga teachers, but there were also dancers and gymnasts and especially martial artists. And I started figuring out what their routines were. Simultaneously, I dug into the research, the exercise physiology research. And what I found is incredibly consistent information and very, very simple. I'm not sure why there's so much confusion. In fact, it's so simple that I'll just share with you right now how flexibility really works. The first thing, and most people get this wrong, is that in order to lengthen your body, in order to create more space, you need to be completely relaxed. So muscles and the fascia that surrounds them, they'll stretch best when your muscles are completely relaxed. We call this concept wet noodle. If you think of like a spaghetti noodle, literally you want to flop over into these poses. It's a big, big deal. It makes a huge difference. The second thing I learned, and this goes hand in hand with the first thing, is that you need a lot of time in poses. When my PE teacher, when I was 12 years old, taught me how to stretch, he told me to stretch for 20 or 30 seconds to get results. That doesn't do anything. You need 2 to 5 minutes. It's a long time wet noodle flopped over your legs, but it makes a big difference and it really works. The next thing that I learned, and this I'd never heard of at all, is about your nervous system. So your nervous system, your body's electrical system, that controls the resting tension in your muscles. It also controls something called your stretch reflex. This is where your body fights you in a pose. You probably felt this when you're stretching and you feel like your body's fighting against you. In order to turn off that stretch reflex, you need to train your nervous system with repetition and with a special breathing technique that I'll show you. It's very effective. The last thing that I learned, and this is so obvious now, but I never thought of it before, but it's that nutrition really matters. So if you look at bodybuilders, they all eat tons of protein, right? If you look at cyclists, they're all sucking down sugary gels on their long rides. And if you look at yoga students, the serious ones, they're eating specific nutrients that nourish their connective tissues, their tendons and ligaments and cartilage, their fascia. These foods aren't that complicated, but it makes a big, big difference. So once I had a basic understanding of how flexibility works, I put together this program I call the Science of Stretching, first for myself and then for thousands of students around the world. It's 15 minutes per day, and it really delivers amazing results. Now, when I say amazing results, I'm not talking about Cirque du Soleil, but I'm talking about things that get people like you and me really excited. Being able to fold forward in a forward bend and put your hands down on the floor. Being able to squat down and have your bum reach your heels and feel comfortable. Sit it on the ground or standing up and having good posture and feeling safe and mobile and free in your body. And when you feel this way, when you go from a body that's stiff and locked up to a body that feels free and open, it just improves everything in terms of your quality of life. Here's the problem with a lot of the stretching books and videos and articles you'll find online, is they're really great warm-up stretches. So you bounce over your hamstrings, you do a little calf stretch. It's great for warming up for exercise, but they don't do anything to actually change your body. You know that, I know that, or you wouldn't be here. If you actually want to create more space in your body, you really need a system, and you need to follow the research, the science of stretching, to get results. You need to passively stretch. You need to do long stretches. You need to train your nervous system. You need to eat properly. And that's where the science of stretching comes in. It's a video-based program, and we have progressions as well as regressions for every single body type. If you're carrying extra weight, if you're older, younger, short, tall, doesn't matter. This approach works for every single body type. We have thousands of students in 81 countries all around the world, and we'd love to have you join us. So if you're fed up with your body, if you'd like to create more space, if you're looking for something that is actually going to deliver results in a very efficient period of time, it's a very good chance this program can help you. Thanks for your interest, and I hope to see you in class.